For 9 long years, I carried a pain so heavy it felt like it had roots in my bones. Every morning, I woke up alone in a small, quiet room that smelled faintly of lavender and old wood, and every night I fell asleep with memories that stung sharper than any wound. My own children, the ones I had raised with sleepless nights and endless worry, had turned their backs on me. They called me selfish, greedy, and heartless after their father's death, leaving me to wonder if a mother's love could ever be enough. It all began on a rainy autumn morning, the kind where the clouds seem to mourn alongside your heart. My husband, the man I had loved for 30 years, passed away suddenly. The grief was raw, suffocating, and I thought I would crumble under its weight. But I had my children, or so I believed. I thought they would gather around me, share my sorrow, and hold me through the long nights. Instead, I met accusations. You kept more than your share of Dad's inheritance, they shouted, their faces twisted in anger I didn't recognize. You're only thinking of yourself. I begged them to understand, to see that the debts left behind were more than any inheritance could cover. But they didn't listen. They refused to answer my calls, change their numbers, and block my messages. Slowly, painfully, they erased me from their lives. I wandered through my grief like a ghost, moving to a tiny village where no one knew my story, no one judged me. I planted vegetables in the soil, feeling it cradle my hands as I worked. I taught children to read and write, their laughter a balm I hadn't known I needed. Years passed, and while the scars remained, the pain softened into something quieter, a gentle ache that reminded me I was still alive. Then, one ordinary morning, everything changed. A neighbor's daughter came running to my door, holding her phone like it was a treasure. Look, she exclaimed, it's your granddaughter. She graduated. I felt my knees buckle. My granddaughter, a girl I hadn't seen in 9 years, smiling in a graduation gown. My heart raced, a mix of joy, fear, and longing that made me dizzy. I didn't wait. Something inside me whispered, you have to go. You have to see her. I took the bus to the city, wearing the same red dress I had saved for weddings, birthdays, and special moments. My hands trembled as I clutched the ticket. The city smelled of rain, dust, and hurried footsteps. Every corner reminded me of the life I had lost. I arrived at the hall early, my heart pounding so loudly I thought it would betray me. When I walked in, I slipped quietly into the back row. Families chatted, laughed, and took pictures. I tried to calm my nerves, but then I saw them. My daughter, elegant and proud, holding my granddaughter's hand. My breath caught in my throat. Her eyes scanned the room, and then they froze. She didn't recognize me at first. Her lips trembled as she whispered, Mom, how did you get in? I smiled softly, my voice trembling with love and sadness. Through the same door you walked through, my child. The room seemed to fall silent. My granddaughter looked from her mother to me, confusion clouding her young, bright eyes. Is this Grandma? She asked hesitantly. Tears welled up in my daughter's eyes. I watched as the years of anger, misunderstanding, and silence melted away, replaced by something raw and human, recognition. I didn't speak of past hurts, didn't accuse or demand an apology. I simply held out my arms. My granddaughter ran into them, and in that embrace, I felt time fold in on itself. 9 years vanished like smoke. After the ceremony, we sat quietly in the park. My daughter finally spoke, her voice choked with tears. I- I'm so sorry, Mom. We were wrong. I didn't understand. I shook my head gently. It's okay, my love. I forgive you, not because you deserved it, but because I deserve peace. We talked for hours, sharing stories of the years apart, of mistakes, lessons, and growth. My granddaughter clung to me, asking questions about my garden, about my village, about the stories I had written in the letters I never sent. I realized that love doesn't disappear. It waits quietly, for a chance to be remembered. That night, as I lay in a guest room I hadn't slept in for nearly a decade, I felt something I hadn't felt in years: whole. I closed my eyes and let the warmth of forgiveness wash over me. I didn't come back to demand what was mine. I came back to show that love, patience, and understanding are stronger than anger and pride. Sometimes life's cruelest moments become its most beautiful lessons. The heartbreak of being rejected, the emptiness of being alone. They taught me resilience. They taught me that peace is not found in revenge, but in the quiet strength of letting go. The next morning, we had breakfast together. My daughter poured tea, my granddaughter helped set the table, and I watched the sunlight catch the dust motes in the air. I realized that home isn't always a place. It's a feeling, a presence, a connection that persists even when people walk away. As I left to return to my village, I hugged them tightly, feeling the warmth of love I had thought lost. "I'll see you soon," I whispered. And I knew deep in my heart that this time it would be forever. 9 years of pain, misunderstanding, and distance had culminated in a single perfect day. I didn't come seeking apologies or recognition. I came seeking the quiet joy of reunion. And in the smiles, tears, and embraces, I found it. I learned that the loudest revenge is peace, the deepest satisfaction is forgiveness, and the most profound love is the one that waits patiently, even through years of silence, to be felt again. Life is fragile, love is fragile, and yet somehow forgiveness is the strongest force of all.